Neither Martin or Ralph or I knew each other, but our wives knew each other. And they came out of one of the worst places in the South. And they had had some of the most bitter experiences in the South. These women had experienced the worst of segregated life and the best of economic opportunity, because the same Quaker family had arranged for Coretta and her sister to go to Antioch, one of the few schools where there was a women's strike for peace in Ohio. And Jean had gone to Manchester with her two sisters, where nonviolence was a required course. I was invited to Talladega College by the Alpha Phi Alpha fraternity, of which I was a member, and Martin Luther King was invited. This was 1957. And that's where we met, and where we realized that our wives knew each other and had grown up in the same town. We saw John Lewis and Bernard Lafayette and James Bevel, Diane Nash on the Nashville sit-in story. And my wife said, it's time for us to go back south. Well, the United Church of Christ agreed to hire me and sent me to work with Dr. King at SCLC. And I ran the citizenship education program. We ended up really deciding that we had to do something massive and serious about segregation. In fact, it was Fred Shuttlesworth that came to Atlanta in the middle of December. His church was bombed for the third time, and he came over to Atlanta saying, look, we have to take on segregation. And the best place to take it on is the worst place in the South, which is Birmingham, Alabama. And I was surprised that Dr. King said yes. And so we agreed to go to Birmingham after the first of the year. Well, that was the movement that started awakening America to the problems of segregation. We were demonstrating to get the right to vote, a right to equal education, a right to work where you shopped, and take down all of the signs that were demeaning and segregated. We had daily demonstrations dramatizing the effects of segregation. We built it up over a period of time so that by the time Dr. King went to jail, there were already 400 or 500 people in jail. And they asked him not to go. They asked him to call it off because even though these were black people, they had signed the bonds of all of these people who were in jail. And so their mortgaged houses were now remortgaged to the jailhouse debt. The paper came out with a full-page ad attacking him by the white clergy. It just set him off. And he was in a cell by himself, and the only papers he had was the New York Times, and he had a copy of this ad, and he started writing the letter from the Birmingham Jail around the margins of the newspaper. And he said, very matter-of-factly, you know, every morning when I wash my face and brush my teeth, I'm reminded that this day could be my last. So I have to decide, what am I going to do today that's not only worth living for, but worth dying for if it costs me my life?